I'm Ashley Crane.
I'm Alka Virick.
So we are an aunt and niece combo. We are competitors with the Maritime Barrel Racing Association here in the Maritimes.
We have been for about 15 or more years.
15 to 20 years, I guess, yeah, give or take.
Crazy to think about. We don't ever put it together.
We spend, usually from May until October, we spend our weekends touring around the Maritimes with our organization, racing. We always joke and say that we live like circus carnies.
We really do.
For 4 or 5 months of the year. And
stuffed in trailers.
I don't think that we would have it any other way.
No, we really wouldn't.
Yeah.
I've been doing it since I was about 4 years old now, which is crazy to think about that we've been doing it. And it's funny because, Ashley's always had livestock in her life. She's been in 4-H and everything for her whole life, but we never got on this side of it until I was younger. And I remember when I was very, very little, the only thing I wanted to do was ride a horse. And we could never find anywhere to take me young enough. And my mom tried to put me in ballet. She tried to put me in like karate. She tried to put me in anything but horses. And I remember when I was little, my mom said, I really hope my kids don't get into anything expensive like hockey. Well, I topped that one up. I really did.
Yeah.
And finally, when I was 4 years old, Sunrise Stable said, we will take your daughter if you will let us do it, because I was not having it. I was riding whether somebody wanted me to or not.
So this weekend we are in North Sydney at a local Jackpot. So throughout our season we do roughly 5 to 6 club pointed jackpots before we hit the road for the Ram Rodeo Tour of the season. So it offers us a couple of other divisions to run in, as well as gives everyone in the organization some prep time before we hit the big show.
Big money. A lot of people think that you just go to these shows, you hop on and you go around 3 barrels and you get off, you go home. But there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah.
And the long hauling hours, especially for where we live, there's so much into it.
Yeah, exactly. We want to make sure that our athletes, they give us everything that they have every time they go in that ring. So we really want to make sure that they are feeling their best and that we're doing everything in our ability to make them feel their best. One thing that you'll notice that we're doing this weekend is having Beamer treatment. So the Beamer treatment by Sarah Ivy just started this program in Cape Breton, which is really nice because there wasn't really anywhere in Cape Breton to get that done. So now she has the equipment to do that. It's a cardiovascular treatment. So basically it gets the blood flowing to all of the muscles in the horse. We use it as a pre-race as well as a post-race treatment, just to make sure that their muscles are in top shape and they're recovering after a race. One thing we discovered early on with Alka and Honey is Honey absorbs every emotion that
absolutely every single one.
Emotion that you put out. So if you're excited, she's feeling that. If you're
excited.
sad, she's feeling that, and she's owning that for you.
And it's almost not even just in an emotional way. Like, we've seen Honey when I've been anxious. Obviously, post-injury, a lot has happened. And coming into this season of 2023, I was very anxious. Mm-hmm. And so 2 weeks leading up to our very first Jackpot, I was obviously thinking about it all the time. Every ride I got on, I was thinking about it. We were going to practice. And Honey started physically shaking. And we were like, what is going on? So obviously vet comes out and we get all the tests that I need to do, and then turns out it was me. So July 10th, 2022, I was on my old horse, Mako, aka Corona Identity, and we had been working for 4 years back and forth. And this horse, I will say, he is phenomenal because he's very athletic, and I do have no bad things to say about him, truly. But we suffered a really bad accident, and I ended up crushing my L4 vertebrae and shattering 5 others. And when that happened, I was in the Lawrencetown Jackpot, so probably about 8-9 hours away from my home. Laid in the dirt for about 45 minutes waiting for an ambulance, and got to the Kempville Hospital, was there for about 5 days. But at the beginning, we had no idea what happened. But I did have to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to do everything again. Shower on my own, eat on my own, get dressed on my own. It was a very, very long process. And obviously I did want to ride again, but it was kind of up in the air at the time because spinal issues are definitely very serious. Anyway, sorry, I need to think some more.
It's one of those things too, when you talk about, motivation. Those of us who are close to Alka and who know Alka, we knew that never riding again wasn't an option for Alka. So it just depended on what type of riding that would be. Was it going to be just riding around our arena at home on a more just pastime level, or was she going to get to be a competitive athlete again? And that was definitely, one of the driving forces behind Alka's recovery, was that it wasn't going to be an option for her not to ride or not to get on a horse again. And it's funny because when we go back and we talk about when Honey came into Alka's life, Alka was laying in a hospital bed in Cape Breton, and myself and one of our friends, Kaylee Denton, were at the Antigonish exhibition. And that's when we learned that this horse was for sale. And at 8 o'clock in the morning, I called her.
Did, yeah.
And it lit a fire under her.
I'm telling you, like there was no tomorrow.
No stopping that.
After
at that point. It was, okay, I'm getting this horse, and next season we will be racing again.
Yeah. And I'm pretty
there
sure
she goes.
after I found out she was for sale, a month later, I was up walking with my boots on, ready to get in the truck to go to the Windsor exhibition with Ashley to go see her and pick her up.
Yeah.
That horse truly, when I say it, I mean it, saved my life. Because I was in a bed, I was in a slump, I didn't know what I was ever going to do again. But then I knew that once she was going to come to my life, everything was going to be okay. And it truly was.
Yeah.
She truly, truly changed my life.